Good afternoon to you. Last time we are going to be looking at a new thing, and last time I told you that we shall be starting with the stages of data collection, and this time around we are going to be looking at those stages, but most importantly we are going to be looking at those 6 stages. When you talk about what are the 6 stages of fieldwork and fieldwork techniques, there are 6 in general. We have the first stage as known as project selection. In other words, we choose a topic and a site where we are going to be conducting our fieldwork study. Then the other thing also, we look at what we call research design. What we call, they have the inductive and inductive. In other words, we call what we call description of hypothesis. In other words, the methods of selection in terms of data collection. They talk about the site selection, techniques to correct the data, mixed methods, and the team project. We also formulate our people that may be going to be used in terms of data collection. Then the data collection, I've talked about it. Then we have what we call the methods. I mentioned about the methods. Then the things that we are going to be using in data collection, and also the things that we may be using. Then number 4, we have what we call the data analysis. After fieldwork or before fieldwork, there is what we call data analysis, or content analysis and patterns. From the content analysis, then you draw the conclusions and you explain our findings. Then you write what we call the ethnography, or the publicity, or publish. In other words, we publish the information that we have gathered. It is the last stage of fieldwork technique or fieldwork research. Those are some of the 6 stages, but we are going to be looking at the techniques. The techniques, we are looking at the interview, we asking questions, and you are given fieldwork, immediate feedback. Then the other, they're talking about the questionnaire. With the questionnaire, there is fieldwork notes, journals, generatings, or taking notes. Then you have watching and asking, what we call tape recording, photographs, and videos. They can also be used as techniques. Then you have history life. History life, it is in relation to going direct to oral source. In other words, you go direct to observe or to see features that exist in there. Then you have text stock, historical sources, visiting different books to also know what is in there. Then you have what called the team project. You set up groups to be examining with specific tasks and with specific activity. When we go on, we are going to be looking at a new thing, that is what we call the fieldwork information. With the fieldwork information, we are going fieldwork or data fieldwork data is important. So that is also another thing that we are going to be looking at. When you go on, they are saying we are going to be looking at the field data in important, or its importance. They are telling us that it helps us, or it helps you to learn more about the customers. Then it helps you to discover the trends or the changing people in a way, how things tend to be changing in terms of physical aspect and also in terms of human development. Then it lets you to segment another audience into different customers and into groups, so you understand the people, or you also understand the marketing strategies that you can undertake of each of the group based on the individual needs or individual consumptions from the field. Then they are talking about that it facilitates decisions making and it improves on the quality of decisions that are being made. Then the other thing, that it helps to resolve issues and also improve the quality on the products and the services. When you go and observe the data, field data, you are able to know the the feedback from the community, what they want and what they intend to get at the end. So it helps you to get that feedback on the qualities of the products that they may be assuming or they may be consuming from the field. So those are some of the importance of the data that you may be obtaining from the field. We are going to be looking at now the techniques. Or field worker study correction methods and the tools that they use. When we go on, they are talking about registration. When you look at registration, we first have to know what is a register. When you know the register, then you are able to know given things concerning registration. With the registration here, we are looking at registers are most implemented where there is a need for accurate knowledge of the size, the type of a fishing field, or for across monitoring of the fishing activities, ensuring compliance with the fisheries regulations. So that one is mainly used to register. All registration enables people to be doing things concerning a particular area in terms of what does it contain, what does it have in total number of things, in terms of licenses, in terms of gears, the company itself, the fishing gears, and very many others. That is what we call registration. Registration has got also different types in there. Then the other thing that we shall be looking at, say, they are saying that there is register the design, as specifically you have to be considering the design, register design. It is also important. Then the other thing is talking about the questionnaire. I mentioned about the questionnaire that the questionnaire refers to the form filled in by respondents alone. They are saying that the questions, all questionnaires can be handled or sent by an email or a letter to the person that may be responding to those questions to give a wide range of views. Then the other thing that we shall be looking at will be another aspect or another form of information, that is the interviewee. With the interview, I mentioned about a respondent or interview information is obtained through inquiries and recorded anonymous or structured interviews that are performed by using the survey forms, whereas open interviews, I talked about that the notes are taken while taking respondents or notes that are more sufficiently structured from the information that may be gathered. That is what we term as the interviews. The interviews, it has also got different forms. That is what we call the open-ended interview. With the open-ended interview, this one covers a variety of data collection activities, including a number of social sciences and research. So different activities are being searched out or they are obtained and they are looked in to get or to view different aspects in terms of research methods. That is what we call the ended interview. When you look at the ended, this one focuses at a given group of people, that is 5 to 15. That is what we call an ended open interview, that it focuses on group. It focuses focus groups small to 5 to 15. This one is composed of representatives of all representative members of a group whose beliefs, practices, or opinions are thought on. Then the other have what called the prior surveys. These ones are made or they involve random selection of a smaller member to represent all the individuals or a group of people. Then you have what called a structured interview. With the structured interview, I told you that they conduct or they are conducted within a well-designed form already established to form what we call a fixed research instead of the respondents. This one they just select, so they are structured and they are filled by the researcher and instead of the respondent. And in there they are saying that they differ from what we call the questionnaires, but these ones they structure forms that are supposed to be filled, then they are sent to the respondents. then who answers those questions, then finally also sends them to the consumer or the person responsible. Those are what we call the interviews. Then you have what we call the direct observation. With the direct observations, I talked about the direct, that these ones involve direct measurement of the fishing vessels at the landing sites. All these ones involve a person going direct to the field and obtains data concerning given variables that anometers can be collected, including the amount of fish catch, talk about figures, details, and also in terms of length, width, weight, and age, and how it came into existence. The other thing now we can also look at, it will be science research. When we talk about the science research, or what we call ecological research, this one can be understood as independent commercial fishing operations, measures that can measure variable related to the fish population or the environment. Or research can be carried out by institutions or research vessels, by industries or institutions using commercial fishing sites. So these ones they are researches that are being made, or scientific research that are being carried out periodically in order to obtain time spatial data in terms of the changes in terms of fish, but usually studying the physical environment. So those are some of the forms of data collection. But the last thing, that is what we call the report. A report, this is actually the last thing that you do after gathering the information. You go into the field, you research. After researching, you write a report. That report is presented at the end before you take it to the publicity or to the publish. Before they publish that information, you have to make a report. You write about what you have gathered from the field. Then you write to put each and everything that it entails or it contains before you let it out to the public or to the users. That is what we call the report. With those few words, I just beg to submit from here, where we shall be picking up next time from. And this time round, we shall be looking at the skills obtained from the field work. Then we are going to be looking at those skills that we may be obtaining from the field, where we shall be picking up next time from.